Thank you for staying with us. Let's get into our first story now. And pupils of the Adrigano Adma Basic School are scared of going to school. This is because their school building is not safe. The dilapidated structure housing these pupils has developed deep cracks and could collapse any time. Aisha Ibrahim visited the school and came through with this report.
From afar, everything looks good at the Adrigano Adma Primary School in Accra. But a closer look shows a deeper problem. The building is almost falling apart. Deep cracks have developed in the school building. The cracks can be seen at the base all the way to the middle and even to the upper part of the building. School children at the Adrigano Adma Primary School are scared.
So this structure, I'm told, used to house classes 4 and 6 and also the ICT laboratory. Right now, this structure has been completely abandoned because the teachers and students say it has become a death trap. Now, the new structure in which they've been moved has also become a death trap because they say there are cracks in the building and cracks on top of the roof.
Cornelius Akpese and Samira Mohammed say they are reluctant to go to school because they fear the school building will collapse on them.
I can say the building is already collapsed because if we hear something break down like shouting, then we realize that maybe it's the building that want to collapse on us. So we try to run away from the class to come outside so that the building will not fall on us.
The children say anytime it rains, studies come to a halt.
Sometimes when our teacher is teaching, the water drips on her from the cracks.
Usually when it's raining, how do you cope?
Sometimes we have to push our desks to the veranda, so that the water won't drip on us. So sometimes when our teacher is teaching, we have to stop. She has to stop teaching so that we'll come here.
When it rains, all the compound becomes wet and water fills the whole compound. So this disturbs the students in the school a lot. Especially when we are going to class, because there's muddy and all those can stuff the stuff in our shoes. So when we get into the class, we go into the class with mud. And at times too, the school becomes like a swimming pool. So we suffer a lot in this school.
They want the government to, as a matter of urgency, address the problem before it gets out of hand. Mr. Joseph Omari lives behind the school. He says the dilapidated nature of the school keeps him awake at night.
What I see in this area is not very good at all. Our kids are suffering. Always the snake wanted to follow them at the school side. That is why I used to become annoyed. If the rain fall heavy, I used to pass up there. The building is shaking. Definitely, it's shaking.
Teachers in the school say the situation is making teaching and learning difficult. So until the government comes to the aid of these poor ones, Cornelius, Samira, Frank and their colleagues will have no option but to continue to study in this death trap.
Aisha Ibrahim, Joy News, Adrigano Adma Primary School.
Well, from there, let's go to Agbeve, where residents in the South Tone district of the Volta region say a recent dredging activity on the Volta River is leading to pollution of a section of the river being treated for water. The residents, who fear the company is rather prospecting for minerals instead of dredging, are worried the community may sink if the activities of the company, which started a week ago, continue. Here's correspondent Ivy Setoji's report.
The residents who spoke with Joy News in the Agbeve community noted that the illegal activities of the foreign vessel seen working is causing a lot of harm to them. Hence the urgent need for government to suspend their activities until they are formally informed and know what exactly the company is all about. They noted that their only source of water, which is the River Volta, has been polluted by their activities, and the water treatment plant built by the community has also been affected, making the community members unable to have good drinking water. Some of them have been speaking with Joy News.
That's what I'm saying. I know when you are coming with a project into a community, you must look at the advantage and the disadvantage, the benefit of the the business that you want to establish. Will the community also enjoy part of it? And it's like we never heard anything about this machine coming or that ship coming here to dredge. All of a sudden we saw them creating a pan over there. But the reason of creating that pan over there, we don't understand it. They came and then they started working. No provision for the community. We have so many, community dotted along this river. About 75 communities, enjoying this river, which is the only source of water for us. How? Look at it. We are not pigs, excuse me to say. We are not mudfish. Look at it. How can my wife go and fetch that water and cook for me? Prepare soup, banku, whatever it is. This muddy water. It is not right. So I suggest that it must be suspended for us to sit down and then discuss and come to conclusion. Okay, it can be something which will benefit the government, but what are we also enjoying out of that benefit? Nothing. So I suggest that it should be suspended for us to come and sit down and then later see where we shall arrive.
The residents believe that the vessels seen are rather prospecting for minerals instead of dredging and must be stopped immediately before the place is turned into Galamsey site and their livelihood destroyed. The residents, who were mostly fisherfolk, said currently they are unable to go for fishing due to their activities. A stepfather of Akbeve community, Sipito Afachawu Haze, lamented on how bad the situation has become and needs government's urgent attention or something disastrous may happen.
Mika na kara kogo midi mi ko sero mi to mi ko yebe mi na kogo government is nu komla be no rasi doji ko eto agbe ka sheka blu no kere to fa ko shebu blu ga gere to ablu wa ka ida da ida ka se ko ga tabu gama ba wata le gama me se mi utote ba wata mi papa otui tam ko chi mi anu.
A community member managing the water plant has also been speaking with Joy News.
Jalemle shinya groni. Asheba ngbena mi enyele machiaji. Tabri de bia we don pay 2 weeks. Akego majejara machia vala every day bia modern 12 a day.
All they want is for government to suspend the activities of the company dredging here because according to them, government has not in any way helped them. When you talk about developmental projects in the area,
Well, in our next story, the bishop for the Jasikan Diocese of the Roman Catholic Church, Most Reverend Bishop Gabriel Mante, has joined calls for President Akakpo to reduce the number of ministers to 40. He also says successive governments have not delivered because Ghanaians have failed to hold them accountable. Bishop Mante has been speaking exclusively to correspondent Peter Senu at Jasikan in the OT region.
In the various stages of our socio-political, socio-economic development. But let me be honest with you. The least said about what we have gone through in the last 4, 5, 6 years, the better. What have we not gone through in these last few years? And I'm asking myself, is this the Ghana I knew as a young boy, as a young man, and so on and so forth? No. No.
You think leadership has failed?
Well, probably. Probably. Because the kind of, so to say, dynamic, forward-looking leadership I experienced. No, I wouldn't say our historic, our political, socio-political, socio-economic development has been one straight line of progress. It has been fluctuating. There are times, we are on top. There are times we go down, and then we recover someone on top. But this particular one, let me be honest with you, we have gone too low. This one is too harsh. I think you know the song by, is it Wendy Shea, they call her also? Kruma Eshe. The way I understand the song may be different from many, but generally speaking, from my conversation with people,
We apologize for the lack of sound at the tail end of that piece. Well, with less than 2 weeks to the national executive elections of the opposition National Democratic Congress, today we put the spotlight on former Greater Accra Regional Minister Ni Ama Ashite, who may just spring a surprise in this race. Here is Raymond Akwe's report.
The former employment minister is a true party person.
I have served in various capacities within the rank and file of the party. I've been a branch chairman, Klotekoli, Silent Cafe branch in Klotekoli. I've been constituency chairman. Yes. I've been mayor. I've been a member of parliament. I've been a minister. I've been a cabinet minister.
As a cadre, he lost a lot of political currency after losing the Klotekole seat and the bitter legal battle that ensued to the daughter of his former boss and mentor, President Rawlings. But he bounced back.
Sure, you know that the party has a problem at leadership. When it comes to national elections and organization.
Exploiting the differences between current chairman of the party and his general secretary by asking the delegates to vote him to help him restore confidence in the NDC's leadership.
Recently, I'm sure you heard what Asidu Ketia said when he was talking about Ampofu, that tells you there was a problem. But these are two big men at the top, throwing mud at each other and so on.
But will he be the national chairman to lead the NDC to victory after 2 successive losses? Time will tell.
Now, work is steadily progressing on the terminal section of the Buankra Integrated Logistics Terminal, popularly known as the Buankra Inland Port Project. The contract for the recommencement of work on the project was earlier awarded in 2020 after President Akufo-Addo cut the sort for the project, which had stalled for many years. Project manager for Justmo Construction Limited, Sadiq Jara, says his outfit has been working tirelessly since October this year.
President Akufo-Addo, during a visit in October this year, assured that the Buankra Integrated Logistics Terminal Project, popularly known as the Buankra Inland Port Project, which has been on the drawing board for some 18 years now, will be completed by the first quarter of 2024. The concessionaire was hopeful that the Eastern and Western Railway lines will be completed on schedule, which will further improve the viability of the Buankra Inland Port. The port will act as a major conduit for the efficient transportation of transit traffic to and from our neighboring landlocked countries of Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali. The idea of the Buankra Integrated Logistics Terminal Project has been in the pipeline since the days of the government of the second president of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. In attempting to bring it into fruition, it encountered a number of challenges, a significant one being the exit of the MPP government in 2009. Project manager of Justmo Construction, Jara Siddiq, said the filling of the terminal area is 70% done.
This is the terminal area of the inland port project of Buankra. And so far we are doing the cut and fill because we need a flat platform for the terminal area. We are doing cutting and filling, because some area is not leveled. We need a level ground for the terminal area. We have some areas where we have waterlogged area, because terminal is, in the future the heavy traffic will come, and we are treated those places with the stabilization of the boulders. We are using the rock fills to stabilize the area before we bring the embankment on the top. After the filling, we will start the concrete and the drainage of this port project. But for now, we are on earthwork activities, and some areas we have embankment fill even up to 9 meters and 8 meters from the ground level to the top. Actually, one of the big stream is crossing throughout the port area, and at that place, even we have the embankment fill is up to 9 meters, which is heavy, massive earthwork activities are ongoing. As you can see, we are using big dumpers and big machines. We have a lot of equipment to do this kind of job. We started this project in October, the first week of the October, and now we are in the just start of the December. In 2 months progress, you can see we have done a lot of work, and almost 70% of the earthwork on the terminal area we have done, and 96% of the clearing of the terminal area is done. So I am very hopeful that we will meet our timelines of this project.
Well, now Parliament has approved the 2023 budget. Despite a budget debate dogged by low numbers on both sides, the majority managed to get in enough members of Parliament on their side just in time to approve the statement, which was read to the House by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta 2 weeks ago. Now, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante was on the spot and has the rest of the story.
There were concerns that government may not be able to secure enough votes to pass the budget, given the low attendance, especially on the side of the majority, that characterized the debate on the budget. But the whips got to work. Last day of debate, there were enough MPs on the floor. Prior to the vote, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu concluded the debate for the minority, castigating President Akufo-Addo and his embattled Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, who he accused of mismanaging the economy.
To say that our country, Ghana, is in crisis, an economic crisis, a deep crisis, is an understatement. President Nana Addo Dankwa must gather courage and take full responsibility. 2.5% increase. And Mr. Speaker, without going further, we in the NDC minority group will fiercely resist and fight the imposition of this additional tax on Ghanaians.
The majority leader, Osei Chairman Sabonsu, fought back.
So the 2.5% increase in the VAT, you have been told, primarily is going to be used for road construction. If you don't want your roads to be constructed, tell us.
It was now time for a vote.
At the conclusion of the debate, as many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. No!
And it appeared the first vote did not convince the Speaker. The question was put again, and this time the majority had it, according to the Speaker of Parliament.
Honourable members, I put the question again. Those in favor of the motion, say aye. Those against, say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The House has accordingly approved the budget statement and economic policy of the government for the year ending 31st December 2023.
With the budget statement and economic policy having now been passed by Parliament, it is expected that the various committees will now get to work in considering the estimates that have been made to the various ministries, departments, and agencies. From next week, these committees of parliament will be expected to present their report on these work that they've done on the various MDAs and recommend the approval. So this is done, the Appropriation Act will now be passed before Parliament goes on break on the 21st of December. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Parliament House, Accra.
And on that budgetary note, we cap off the news, but stay with us because Dr. Kwame Asante is joining us for the news review. We'll be back.